My name is Deepa Kach.
Yes.
I knew about Savo from my sister, and my sister also knew about Savo from a Chama friend who is an investor.
Who is an investor?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. And in one sentence, could you describe today's event?
Today's event, I'm very excited.
Yes.
I have invested in a project I have never found time to visit.
Yes.
I'm from far, so I did everything online.
Yes.
It's my first time to come and own my unit, and I haven't been here physically to see anything.
So this is the first time?
It's the first time I'm setting foot on this project.
Since you started investing?
Since I started
When
investing.
was this you started investing?
I invested last year, September. Yes.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And how would you describe your Savorite experience in one sentence?
Very wonderful. There is a lot of transparency. Everything is clear. And if you have any query, you get immediate help. But so far, everything is clear. You get your statements, you get the report. That's why I did have to come and check before thinking of investing. I invested before checking out. I never even made a trip here. Everything was already clear.
And you said you came all the way from?
Kisumu.
You came all the way from Kisumu.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That's all for today. Asante sana.
Asante.
Thank you so much.
A very good evening. I hope you're enjoying your time at home. Kama hujafika nyumbani, tafadhali kimbia, but it's a great opportunity to have you here today. My name is Martha Inyuma. Of course, I'm a fire partner here at Savo, and this is the Frequently Asked Questions Series 5, and we're coming to the end of this amazing series. It has been an amazing journey. Today, I have the opportunity to have my great partner here.
Yes.
Sam Chalo. You can say something, and of course, he'll start us off with a word of prayer.
Yeah, good evening, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Let me kick it off with a word of prayer. Thank you, Lord, for having us here today. Thank you for bringing us here. We pray that this is going to be fruitful and engaging discussion tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, amen.
Yeah, thank you so much. Of course, we're live on all our social media handles at savo.ke.
Yeah.
If you have joined us, drop the fire emoji. You know that is our representation, financial independence.
Retire early.
As I had mentioned, this has been the Frequently Asked Questions. We have done so far 5 episodes, and we're coming to the end of the series. And today we have a very special topic to discuss.
Yes.
And I'm happy to be here with Sam. I think we started this journey together.
Long ago.
Before I dive in, I can see Tails is here with us. Thank you so much, Tails. You can see Finn is here and Andrea Ititu is here. Please keep those
amazing.
coming. Today's topic is about the to-dos of
to grow your wealth. And live your best life.
Live your best life.
Exactly.
And that's a very interesting place to be, because the definition of the best life is neither here or there. You know,
subjective.
It's subjective.
It's very subjective.
And yeah, I turn back to you. What's your definition of wealth, and what's your definition of that best life?
My definition of wealth and my definition of best life. Here today, Martha has come to put me on the spot.
Yeah,
FYI, I do not know the questions she's going to ask me, so we are in this together.
We are testing his financial independence as a partner.
Hey, for me, I'd describe wealth as time. I'd describe wealth as time, time and freedom to do the things that you actually want to do because you're not bound by money.
Yes.
So having the time to pursue something that you'd like to pursue because money is not an issue. So that's how I describe wealth: having an abundance of time.
Yes.
Not money.
Not money.
Time. Yes.
And I think every time we mention of course, because we're in this financial independence, a lot of questions, people ask us, what's the difference between being wealthy and being rich?
Yes.
And I think we've been really intentional to define that as Savo, in that we know, of course, when you're talking of rich, Chris Kirubi, the late Mark Zuckerberg, there are names that we can actually openly throw out.
And their lists.
And the lists, yes. But as you have defined it, just having the time, and maybe someone else would call it freedom.
Yes.
To achieve, to do whatever you may call your purpose. And so, going there, what's your purpose? Have you defined that?
I do not know what my purpose purpose is.
Uh-huh.
I do not know what my purpose is yet. I am trying to. But when I joined Savo in 2019, I came in, and then Savo is a very purpose-driven company. There's this big purpose that we're trying to achieve, and I was like, because when I joined I wanted to just know how the corporate world operates, and then I go start my own company. Yes, a studio. So when I came and then I saw Savo had a purpose, I was like, I think now, I think as a corporate company you need to have a purpose, or as a human being. So I tried to find mine, and I was into depression, and they call it quarter life crisis. But yeah, and I came and listened to Simon Sinek, and he said, if you don't have one right now, as you try to find yours, follow someone else's, or follow a purpose. Like, just don't stay without one. Yeah. So right now I do not. Right now I do not. But I'm on the journey to financial independence as I try to get it and define it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's following what we have here, Savo.
Of course. Of course. That's what driving me right now.
Defining my purpose, I'm not yet there. I think I have clarity on my financial independence number. I have clarity on the period. But just on the purpose, something that I can actually do without getting paid. I'm yet to define that for my personal life. But I think here in Savo, we have something that is keeping us alive, enabling our investors achieve
financial independence.
And of course, now us as partners, when we are thinking investors, it's just not the external, but the internal
as well.
And everyone next to you to just ensure they are on their journey. Yeah. And so, what does FIRE have to do with purpose?
What does FIRE have to do with purpose? I think from the definition of wealth, FIRE and financial independence being having assets that generate for you sufficient monthly passive cash flow to finance your needs, wants, and desires, and entirely, eventually, your purpose. So, I think for you to be able to pursue your purpose wholeheartedly, wholly, fully, you really need to have your needs, wants, and desires sorted. Yeah. So you can't, if you're trying to pursue your purpose, and it's not the thing that's feeding you, your needs, wants, and desires definitely will take priority. So if those are sorted, you can pursue your purpose for free without needing to get paid, only because you are financially independent. So I think it accelerates you, or accelerates the impact that you have in achieving your purpose. That's
I think while we're in the subject of FIRE, is it something that you'd like to just briefly share your financial independence journey? What your maybe financial independence number is, what is that period, and of course, as you're thinking of the period, now you know you have a timeline to gain that purpose, yes. Have clarity on your purpose.
The journey is a long journey, but started 2-3 years ago, and for me, my financial, it's not just mine alone, it's mine and my significant others, my person, mimi na mtu wangu. Our number is 10 million shillings per month. 10 million shillings per month. That makes us have assets that are worth $1 billion. I'm not sure about that number. It's 1,000 times a million. That's $1 billion. I think so. Yeah, something like that. Something around there. Yeah. So we ought to get around 1,000 Savo units. And the period is until I am around 45, so that's in around 19 years. 19 years. Yeah, that's in 19 years, so you can guess the age. Do your quick math. Watch out for comments. Who can do that quick math? Yeah, in 19 years. And so far, out of the 10 million, we are at 70,000. Hatujafika koma ya kwanza, 70,000. Yeah.
Maybe just to elaborate on that, how has that been? What are these things that you've done that has enabled you to just kickstart and not give up? Because I think the hardest thing about financial independence and just in the face of investing is it's hard. It's quite difficult because it means you are you're being very intentional to limit yourself to the worldly pleasures today to sort 19 years from now, which is unknown. I mean, think about it. Nobody knows where we'll all be in 20 years.
Yeah.
So what are these things that you've been able to do or you're trying to do?
Yes.
Just ensure that you're not giving up along the way or you're not getting back to a zero, then you start
again.
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing that I started with and we started with, and then we've picked it up all going forward, has been, so the first one is to automate. So if you want to invest your money somewhere, just let it go there straight. Don't let it go through the corners. If you want your money, talk to your investments direct. Let it talk to it direct.
Yes.
It will not cut through corners. Yeah. So automate. Just let the money go there directly. So that's the first thing we did. So luckily with our call them the Chemical X team, not HR.
Yeah.
With our Chemical X team, they can take your money straight to your investments, which for us, of course, it's Savo, without it hitting our bank accounts. So the money just goes there directly. So that's the first thing we did. The second thing we did is with every salary increment, everything that came on top. You see, because when we started the journey, of course, we were at a certain level of earning of salary, and then it went on increasing. So from what we started getting on top, we started investing. Like it all went to investment. So we just capped our expenses. So whatever will still come on top, if it's going to come, it's definitely all of it going to the investment. So that's another thing we did, and it kept on increasing. So far, we invest 70% of what we earn, so and live on 30%. So 70% is automatically goes to our investment. So it gets to a point where you even forget how much you actually earn because you never even get to see it. Yeah, yes. What you actually see is the 30%. So you're like, okay, but how much do we usually earn?
Yes.
Yeah, you get. Because now it's been a long time, all of it gets automated, and it gets times where you sit down and review, and this much, and I could be living X amount of lifestyle, but capping your lifestyle and capping your expenses and knowing this is the budget that you're trying to stick to and will stick to, and our expenses will be this much. That has really also helped. So just automating the money, you do not have it at all, and then you fit your lifestyle to whatever is left. That is what. Yeah, it wasn't easy initially, but I think with time you're like, okay, this is what I actually earn. But the 30% is what we earn, and we're okay and comfortable with that.
So
yeah.
With all those considered, of course, financial independence has a huge part to play. When one starts to explore their purpose, as you had mentioned. If you're not financially independent, then how do you sort your bills?
Yeah.
We are saying a purpose is actually getting to a point where you can do this thing without getting paid.
Yes.
Whatever makes you happy and all that, but you can actually really get into something that you can do it for free.
Exactly.
And find fulfillment in it. So by the time you're getting to that level, financial independence has to be there. And that's even the guiding star. And so what are these steps that people can take towards starting or continuing their journey towards financial independence? Yes.
Okay. One, if you do not have a purpose, try and start the journey to figuring it out. And just like when you're starting a business, you need a customer and the problem to solve for them. And is it a problem solution fit? Or is it problem customer fit?
Like a lean canvas.
The same way your purpose and your financial independence journey have to go hand in hand. So once you start exploring or knowing what your purpose is, also start the financial independence journey together with that. So if you can be able to identify what that is, well and good. If you can't, with the financial independence number, that you can identify.
Yes.
You can identify your financial independence number, and I think that's ideally the first step, because if the purpose is hard, sawa, identify your financial independence number. By identifying that, you need to define then what is that vehicle that is going to enable you get to that financial independence number. And the number is how much do you want to be earning passively when you're living your
best life.
Your best life.
Yes.
How much do you want to be earning passively when you're living your best life? That's just it. Yani, that time when you're not working for money, you said you retired.
Yes.
How much is that will sustain your best life? Yeah.
Yes.
How much passive income is that will sustain your best life?
Yeah. And I can see even the comments are flowing in, and it would be nice to just know, have you defined your financial independence number?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Exactly.
Sam has challenged me because mine is less 10, but in my young age I had defined it at $1 million a month, but now I'm challenged. And of course, the good thing with financial independence, you will get there and realize that's not it. You know, you'll always, because it's addictive, so you get there and you realize, by the way, I can do more, or I can push it further, or even I can cap my lifestyle a little bit lower to extend grace towards my investments.
Yes.
So I can see Luke is sharing you attorney bomb blast.
The blast
It's a
emoji.
blast emoji.
The fire movement emoji.
Yes. I can see David Nandi saying hi. I can see Peter Wanjie sharing the fire emoji. I can see Angela Mutai. I can see a comment from Andrew Aititu. He's saying the best life is when your passive income not only exceeds expenses, but gives room for blessing others. And that's very, very true.
Yes.
I think selfishly sharing the knowledge that we have gained here in Savo. I'm saying selfishly, we have been here quite some time. Just seeing our directors move from, just beyond enabling themselves to enabling internal Savo rights, and now all the way to Ignite. Of course, if you're new to Savo, we have a foundation that sorts out children who are very bright but are not capable to take themselves throughout high school and university and even getting employment. And so we having just that line of impact in that, by the time you're getting to become financially independent, you have a role to actually impact the lives of others.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think now that is where even your purpose plays, that what is this thing that you want to do to the children of God to really change what this country is. I can see Zail is sharing the fire emojis on Android Titu's comment. I can see James Kamau saying, hey, karibu sana, James.
Thank you for joining.
Yes. I think once you're getting towards financial independence, and just to go back to what Andrew is talking about, unfortunately, we've been raised in a culture where money is difficult. People don't want to talk about money. People don't want to talk about where the money is going.
Yes.
People don't want to share financial knowledge and where they're investing. They're not proud. You know, someone does not stand and say, I'm actually an investor.
Exactly.
And this is where you can come into. Because, I think there's a lot of, we've been raised in a culture where people hoard information. And the problem is that, with that is that you can actually become financially independent, but block yourself from blessing others, the way, Andrew, you've put it. That you can actually even get to a point where you can define your purpose, but because you're not proud of sharing your investment knowledge, you're not even able to help others.
Because I think we've been brought up with this thing, scarcity mindset.
Yes.
Where you think hoarding is the thing that matters, but sharing this information of this is how, because when growing up, not most of us, our parents never told us how much they were. I mean,
till today, I don't know.
You never know how much they were earning. You never know what they did with their money. And being in this whole real estate investment industry, it becomes a crucial thing that people need to have, a conversation that people actually need to have. And it's really, really good that just all over the world, and especially in Kenya, people have started having those conversations, be it on Instagram, be it in very many different places. But it's sort of been demystified, but I think you and I and everyone watching this can take it a step further by starting those conversations with your kid if you're watching, with your brothers, with your you could be earning less than them, you could be earning more than them, but just starting that conversation is a step in igniting this fire in the fire movement.
Yes. And I think even just to give a heads up, this Saturday we are having our fire workshop.
Yes.
And the fire workshop has the fire drill. So where we just take you through this entire process. Whatever we are trying to say, where your money goes, what percentage, your financial independence number, the drill really captures that. And the last time we had it here, it was a really eye-opening that we had one of our investors, actually a potential investor, someone who has not invested, and she came into the room and she realized she's actually the oldest, but she was able to be bold enough and share, you know, how she had lived the best life before being financially independent. Because, as I had started by mentioning, that what society has defined as best life is subjective. That, you know, it could be going to the bank, getting a loan, buying that flashy car, living very highly, living at 150 of your 100% income. So that definition of the best life. And so she was able to just really share her story that you can actually be living there and something happened. And so for her, it was COVID, and it was a transition point that you have brought even your kids to this position. And COVID happens. By the way, whatever was benefiting you to be there disappears, and so you need to start from scratch. And I think, you know, for her to be able to share such a deep and, you know, something that someone really would not be comfortable to share really made people realize that, by the way, this percentage, if I'm taking 50-60% of my income to meals and bills and consumerism, I might really get there someday. It might not happen today, but eventually 10-20 years that we are thinking is too far to invest might actually catch up. I think there are some of the steps, and these are things that we've discussed here before, when you're thinking of now starting an investment, because the purpose might take time, but the decision to start investing needs to begin. Now. That one you don't need to take time, but there are certain factors that you need to consider while you're, you know, starting your investment journey in whatever field that you're taking your financing to. And of course, one of the things is due diligence. I think you can just say something.
I think due diligence is critical because it gives you a level of understanding in whatever vehicle you've chosen to get you to financial independence. I think there's a saying where when you start investing in something, you need to know how you will make money, and most importantly, how you can lose money with it. So due diligence gives you that knowledge of how you can actually make the money from whatever vehicle you've chosen to invest in. Or to take you to financial independence, and how you can actually lose your money in that vehicle, because I don't think there's anything that is 0% risk.
0% risk. That's
so
true.
You need to know that this is how I could lose money while I invest in this.
And this is the risk I'm willing to take.
Exactly.
And I think when you're talking of due diligence, as we encourage vulnerability and openness in the financial space and in the investment space, don't go blindly. Make a logical decision and not really an emotional decision, just because you really need to understand the field that you're getting yourself into. Be it a business, be it an active income sort of thing, be it a passive investment that you're looking at. Don't say because it has worked for some, it will automatically work for me. Because because if you do not understand the business, or you do not understand the field you're getting yourself into, then you're not able to see the risks. You're not able to mitigate anything just because you don't understand the risk in that space. And of course, having an investment plan. We've talked about the financial independence number. Figure that out. Give yourself a period of time where, you know, you're able to give yourself enough grace to invest as much as you can, but also figure it out. You know, what is this financial independence number that will enable me to start my purpose? I think saying 19 years for a young man, it's not easy. I don't think it's the easiest thing. Mimi niko tu hapo.
An investment plan where the number is 10 million shillings per month and the number of years is 19. I think for me, as young as I am, enables me to have long-term plans. And I think having long-term plans give you some sort of certainty in life. Because we've been in this life where there's a lot of trends up and like today this is what is trending, be it an app, be it food, be it clothing, there's just very many different trends, and if you're just usually carried by waves, it's hard to find certainty in life if that's the way you live in. So for me, the investment plan creates a level of certainty, especially in your finances, which is, for me, after air, that's it. It's finances. You need to get your numbers together. So having a solid investment plan that that is in by itself is a mechanism to ensure that you actually do it is hairy enough, is big, hairy, and audacious, and also, like they say with goals, it's smart as well.
Yes, yes.
Very simple. You can articulate it as fast as you can,
and it's a number you can remember.
You can remember.
It's something that you can actually remember. And when you're talking about time has both benefits. So if you're young enough, you have enough time to make mistakes, take the risk, less responsibility. If you're starting now and you're already into your, let me say, sort of mature age, you have probably a family here, you have parents you're supporting, you have a life you're supporting, you have the advantage, not a longer period to make mistakes, but you have the advantage of experience. Over the years, you earn more. So, of course, by the time you're getting into your 30s, your 40s, your value is higher, your net worth is higher, your skill set is higher, your time application is higher. So you've really gone through the corporate ladder. If you're keen enough, you've been exposed to the right network. So you have a dispensable sort of ability there in such a way that you can actually make more faster. And so the aspect of time is very critical. If you're starting young, please start as fast as you can for you to build for your generation to come. If you're starting while you have slightly matured, you have enough resources around you. So in such a way that you can actually bargain and fight for your space on the seat, and therefore you can call the shots to enable you accelerate that journey. Another thing is, of course, around the habits. We've talked about habits. Even last week we talked about the habits to stick to, and just to talk about something that Sam has stated that has sort of stuck in my mind is automation of funds. Because there's always that temptation of saying, I usually remove 200, but I can remove 150K, then next month I'll remove 250K.
Exactly.
It's always, because the moment you're liquid, the problems are always there. I think I said it even last week. The moment you've allowed yourself to be liquid, you'll always have a reason not to give as much as you need to. There's always. And you've also talked about don't divert your your increment. I think the temptation to going up the ladder, and of course, as I've mentioned, if you are starting this at a later age, because you're going up the ladder, the chance of you getting an increment over, like, even if it's in a year or in 2 years, is very high. Whether it's in bonus, whether it's in appreciation, whatever it is, it's very high. And so the temptation for you to buy the things that you feel you deserve are equally as high, or living a lifestyle that you think you deserve are equally as high.
And they call it the lifestyle creep.
The lifestyle creep. And the worst part is this topic says living your best life.
Your best life.
That's dangerous.
Your best life is only when you're financially independent.
Yes. And so it's in such a way that, of course, money is working for you. And so being able to automate your investment and do not divert your increment. Not the, you might say, okay, 200, but now you're at a net worth of 500,000. I mean, the 200 needs to increase by percentage. So if it's 70% of 200K, 70% of 500K is slightly higher.
Exactly. Another critical thing that I can mention also is that for me has really worked, having an accountability partner. For me, being in a relationship with someone who actually also thinks like the level of growth or the level of vision is huge enough where it's scary enough, because you can settle for less, but if it's not scary enough, it won't make you wake up every other time. So if you have an accountability partner, for me, the relationship, I mean, has done a lot to enable me be focused on this journey. And if you do not have that person, be that person for someone. Because it does play a huge role.
For sure. And an accountability partner is someone now that you're honestly open, that you can actually lay and say, this is what I'm bringing to the table today. And hopefully someone that has a similar vision, because if you're also with someone who is not on the financial independence journey, then it won't work. Yes. I think, let me read a few comments before the time itupotele. I can see Alicia saying, good conversation here. I love the awesome thought. You are not too selfishly invest. You're not to selfishly invest. I can see Alicia saying, best life definition: faith, family, finances, and fulfillment. And I think that's a huge challenge because I remember we once went to a conference. I think it was in PwC, and one of the ladies just said for her, what she would define as the best life is contentment. That being at a place where she doesn't feel the need to always be in the rat race. Something to think about. I can see Mwai Ndegwa. Karibu Mwai here. Keep up the good educating job. Thank you so much, Mwai. I can see Dennis. He's saying hello, awesome show, logged in from North California, US. Thank you so much, Dennis. Carolina. Hey, Carolina. Hey, clearly I am from Kenya. I can see Jackson saying best life is only best after financial independence. That's very, very true. I hope this was helpful. I just want us to quickly go through all this, the episodes that we've captured in these frequently asked questions. From the very beginning, if you have watched us, thank you very much. If you haven't, they're all on our YouTube channel. But just to really recap on those series. So we started with accessible financing. And accessible financing is, we were just looking at the channels. Where can you get your money to? Where can you begin? Because, you know, sometimes you'd really have the desire to invest. But of course, investing starts somewhere. As Sam had mentioned, I think yours started about 2-3 years ago. Same to me. So we had time. We were in Savo before. We started investing, I think, around 2020.
Yes, like a year or two after.
Yes. So it takes time because you need to build a bit of capital and building the mindset, trying to understand the channel that you want to get yourself into from an investment perspective. And accessible financing came as key. And at that point we were questioning, you know, how are you accessing this financing? And for us as a company, of course, we are very keen to say no to loans. I don't know if you have something to say about that. I remember we once did an exercise, wacha ni mwanike. So we once did an exercise before we started our financial independence journey, and we were just trying to see how many of us are in debt. And by the way, if you go home today, just ask yourself, where are you? Whether it's the small debts, whether it's the big debts, ones. Because all that and your money habits and your spending habits really, really affect your financial independence.
I think for me, the very first step was clearing a lot of debt that I had, and it came from all the social pressures that are usually around. I was living at 150%. That meant that the 50% for me was loans, the 50%. So for me to be able to pay off, 100% was my salary, 50% was loans. For me to be able to pay off, I had to pay 50% of what I actually earn and live on 50%. So I started living on a third of what I was living on. And it was stiff or tough, but it was a necessary step because they're chains. They're chains, and if you cannot break them, they're going to be too heavy for you to do it later on.
And I remember in the previous workshop, of course, if you've just joined in, we have workshops being carried out till September on the fire drill. And so we usually have them here in our head office here in Tindigwa. And so in the previous workshop, there's someone who asked, you know, how do I define a good debt and a bad debt? And when you're thinking of accessible financing, that's usually the first model to go into. You know, you want to get a house, you want to go through mortgage, you want to get a car, you want to get a mortgage, you want to a car loan, you want to start a business, you want to get into a personal loan for you to start a business. And it's usually very easy because it's a click away. I mean, right now when you go to your phone, open your banking app, there's an ad. There's an ad on the you've not even logged into the app
itself.
On the app, as you're putting in your PIN, there is an ad that tells you the percentage, you know, if you're getting a loan. And so and how I looked at it, you know, is could there be another way? You want to get a mortgage to just say, for example, acquire an apartment. Could there be a payment plan that does not necessarily need you to go the mortgage way? You want to get a car loan to get a car. You don't afford the car yet. Just hear me out. For you to be able to afford it, you need to be able to afford it twice. That means you're able to maintain it. So such things, could there be another way?
And with that, something I can add is, for me, it's all about living within your means. And if you can, actually, if you're investing, you need to live below your means.
Below your means.
And if you live above your means, it's like, okay, you can't even afford it. Why are you doing it in the first place?
Yeah.
So yeah, don't live above
Yes.
your means
Yes.
at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think the next session we talked about mortgages and savings.
Exactly.
And we understand, of course, by the time you're getting here, of course, if you have worked for a long time, highly likely you already got into a mortgage.
Yeah.
And one of the things that stood out is how fast can you clear it? Yeah. And we've done, and if you attend our fire drills, we've done sort of an analysis of how that mortgage plan would look like. So assuming you're going to the bank, you're able to afford a mortgage worth Kenya shillings 15 million. Of course, this might get your house where? Lavington, Kilimani, which will probably give you about 80,000 in terms of rent. And so you need to pay the bank 200,000 over 15 years, meaning by the time you're finishing to pay for this mortgage, if you consistently pay 200,000 to the bank over 15 years, it means you're paying 36 million.
Yeah.
That is way above, 100%. Yeah, it's more than double. And so how fast can you clear that off? That you're given 15 years, that is quite good, but can you do it in 10?
Yeah.
Cut it as fast as you can. Channel all your money to go into that. That if today you're paying 60%, can you make it to 70%? Can you push it slightly ahead to 70%? And in this way, I would understand. Of course, you have responsibilities, you have children. Educate them to start saving so that life is cheaper at home. Everyone is anafunga mkanda to make sure that we are all getting to financial independence. Yeah. You have anything to add on mortgages? Yeah. And the other one was active and passive income. That was a very interesting topic because for us, we are very passionate about passive income. Because when it's active, then it means you are working for the money, whether you like it or not. It's just like a job. So if you're employed somewhere, it's an investment because there's a time application there. But really, you're working for money. So if you stop working, there is no income.
There's no income.
Yeah.
And then passive cash flow is I think I can just summarize this with the quote from Warren Buffett, where if you do not find a way to earn while you sleep, you will work until you die. And nobody wants to do that. So just create passive income. Active is good, but okay, when we do the drills, I think we're giving you a lot of spoilers. You will see the risks that are in your way, be it job loss, be it health, be it death, and all those things that could come in your way that could make your level of activity that enables you earn actively
a bit less.
Yeah, a bit less. So what does that mean to your cash flow? So you need to be able to create passive sources of income. So come to the workshop on Saturday.
Yeah, and of course, when you're thinking of passive and active, for us, the term financial independence is very clearly defined. For us, it's having sufficient assets that generate for you passive monthly cash flow. That way, then, it means you can actually now go perform your purpose. Because if you want to do a purpose and you still really need to work somewhere to make the make the money, then it will be very difficult for you to actually pursue your purpose. Because the purpose needs to be very willingly give you fulfillment, given, something that you are actually happily doing. And so if you really need to be stressed about making money elsewhere, it will be a bit of a problem. I think the last thing we talked about, and that was last week, was habits, and which we've touched about a bit today. But maybe what's a parting shot that you can give?
I think a quote by either Charlie Munger or Warren Buffett. It's about the chains of habits. They're usually too light to be broken or something until they're too heavy to be broken. I don't remember it well, but the thing about habits is once you build them, be it bad or good, the longer you stay with them, the better or the worse, depending on what kind of habits they are. So the earlier you start to build good habits, the better. So I think, and habits are built by repeatedly, consistently doing that thing that you know is what matters. And I think if you sow a habit, you will reap a character. So once you define what that purpose is or what that best life for you is, there's a kind of person you want to become. So you need to sow quite a number of habits for you to get to that place that you need to get to.
Yes. I can see a few comments. Andre Tito is saying Carolina pia ni sawa. Allow me. I can see Godfrey Ngunyi from Muranga. Karibu sana. I can see Tom is watching us with sharing the fire emoji. This has been a very interesting series for us. Hopefully we've been able to really touch on the very, very minute things that people really don't probably share openly or talk about it, or probably the questions that come to mind, but by the time you're going to make a decision on investments, they sort of just fade away, and probably by the time you're into the investment, you start getting cold feet. We hope that you'll be able to go back, if you've not been able to capture all the 5 episodes, you'll be able to go back and just really go through and see where you are at with this financial independence, that we might leave you with something that will enable you become financially independent.
Exactly.
Yes. You have anything to say before we close?
For me, I think it's just to thank all our investors, all the Savorites out there on fire who join us on the webinars.
Yes,
every week. I think Andrew has been joining them for quite consistently.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And let's keep on spreading the fire message, and it will happen by you. See that link in the comment section. If you're on your TV, just go, copy it, send it to someone, invite them. That's the best thing you can do to them. If it's a gift, they
this
will
would be the best gift. Yes. And it's so interesting. I think I can see a mix of investors in the comment section. Windego has invested with us over and over. Andre Tito is a diehard investor. Alicia has invested with us, and I can see people who I am talking to who have not invested. I can see Dennis. We hope to see you as a Savorite by next week. But for everyone who is in Nairobi, please invite people to come for the workshop. We have it running here at Savo Sunset. Savo Sunset is our newest project from 11 a.m. this Saturday. It goes all the way till 1 p.m. Kuna chakula. You will not stay hungry. Free food. It's free. It's free. We hope that this will really change the culture and the mindset of Kenyans, especially in these hard economic times. This is the time for you guys in the diaspora to pray for our country. Please invest back home that we can support this economy to thrive. We are very grateful here at Savo. We hope that we are impacting your financial independence journey. We look forward, we will be there personally in the workshop, so we look forward to being with you. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
And let me tell you today about Savo. Now, not Savo the way you know us. If you've seen our buildings, that's good. If you've lived in our apartments, that's good. If you've invested with us, that's good. But Savo is just not that. We are the bold who change the world. We have bold characters. We have bold Savorites who go beyond the measures of what is proven to be possible. And so you have seen the life of Savo. The last 8 years, we have shaken the world of real estate. We have gone into the market and just, made what seemed impossible possible. We have brought affordable investments here in Kenya. From as little as 30,000 a month, you can actually own an apartment within Nairobi. Who thought that could be possible? I mean, growing up, we all knew real estate ni ya wale wa juu. Sisi tunajenga ka home ownership. And so we have made that possible. We have shown you that lifestyle can be a different perspective, that you're just not letting into our apartments, but you're getting into a community where you will become something great. And of course, when we start this journey of being great and being bold who change the world, we want you to be part of it. As we celebrate these 8 years of existence, we want you to be part of it. We want you to shake the boundaries and actually make things greater by being bold, and be the bold who change the world. I am Martha Inyuma, and we are the bold who change the world.
The boldest thing that I've done, that I can remember at least recently, was performing at State House with the then President Uhuru. We were in high school. I was to perform a trumpet solo in the school band, and yeah, I think that's the one that I can remember. There may have been bolder ones, but hiyo ndio najua. My name is Victor Murimi, and we are the bold who change the world.
They say that the youth are the future, but we believe that the youth are the present.
Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek.
Join a community of the change makers, the innovators, the visionaries who dare to dream big and make it happen. They are the ones who will shape the future, who will challenge the norms, and who will create a better world for us all. Those who dare to dream big and make it happen. Click on the banner to join the movement today.
transform a space and its people. My name is Alice Nganga, and we are called to change the world.